Hi, friends. I just wanted to pop in and make you a quick video announcement rather than typing out a really long email. So, in the past, there's been a couple of ways that you can practice yoga with me. There's been in person classes, and there's been, since COVID times, there's been Zoom classes as well. Both of which, though, typically you have to kind of like show up for. Um, And if you are not at all interested in practicing yoga via video or on Zoom, like at all, ever, just you can just skip this. Just move down. Move down into, I'll put a link to my in-person classes below. So you can just go right there. You don't have to bother with any of this. But if some of you, and many of you, have been attending my Zoom classes or are interested in a way to practice with me that is not in person, then keep listening. So partway through Zoom classes, when the world started opening up again, and people were back to their lives, and some people were going back to work and all the things, I noticed that some people were signing up for my Zoom classes, even though they knew that they weren't actually going to be able to be there. They were doing it just to get the recording. And although I'm super grateful for the support and happy that you're getting regular yoga, that's not really ideal because those of you who've done a Zoom class know when it's a registered Zoom series, so my Zoom classes are not drop-in, they're registered chunks that you sign up for the whole thing. And so we do a check-in at the beginning, and this is always off the recording, where we just kind of say our name and where we're coming in from and how we're doing. And this is the point where folks could potentially let me know if there's anything in particular going on with them. And this could be, I've got an injury, I've got a tight spot, a sore spot, I'm feeling anxious, I'm really exhausted, whatever it is that is going on that they want to share. And this usually happens for the few minutes before we hit record and start the practice. We just take a moment to connect. And so my lesson plans are based on what happens in that check-in. So I don't create a firm carved in stone sequence or lesson plan in advance of the class that we're going to do. I teach based on what I hear you all saying. So I always have a plan. There's always a plan. So if everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm good to go. Let's rock it," then there's always a plan. Um, but the plan is often changed or abandoned or tossed out completely if it doesn't fit the needs of the group that day. Also, I'm accounting for who is there in person's injuries, for example. So let's just say it's a yin class, depending upon what injuries I may have with that specific group, we may do the same hip opener for the whole 12 weeks because it's, the most accessible, or it's the one that works for so and so and so and so and so and so. So I think you can see what I'm getting at here is that the Zoom classes are not like designed to be like a pre-recorded video where you just press play and go. They're typically customizable. There's the community aspect, and there's a way to kind of have your needs met. Also, I will be able to see you while we practice, and so you'll get that guidance from me as well if you need it. So as much as I'm grateful that you're doing yoga, and I'm super grateful for the support, it's not really ideal because you're paying for a class that you're not reaping all the benefits from. So as this was happening, it got me thinking. I was like, well, if people really want the regular class in their inbox and they really want the regular practice, but they just are in a different time zone than me, or you know, um, can't make it at the time of the classes because of family commitments or kids or whatever it is, what could I do about that? And so for the last couple of years, while we've been Zooming, I've been secretly squirreling away the odd little video or workshop that I do and just kind of saving the recording. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with them, but I just thought it's smart to have some of these tucked away. And so now I have created for you, this is what I've been doing over the spring and beginning of summer, a on-demand video subscription service. So this is great for those of you who can't practice with me in person in Zoom class. So who's this for and who's it not for? So I'll give you a little bit of just a breakdown of, because what I don't want is for you to be like, oh, great, one more thing, now I'm totally overwhelmed. So I'm going to make this as clear as I can. Number one, if you are not interested in practicing on Zoom or video, in-person classes are for you. You don't need to watch this video, link below. I know some of you do both. Some of you do in-person and Zoom. If that's you, you can keep listening. Number two, Zoom classes. So if you're sitting quietly with yourself and you're really honest, if you know that you're probably not going to do yoga practice unless it's in your schedule and there's that accountability of showing up live, accountability to me and to the group and to yourself, and that helps you to practice. So if you feel like, I could do yoga every day from some video, but I never do, then you would want to go with Zoom classes, because then you're going to get a reminder beforehand of the Zoom class. It's in your schedule. It's something that becomes consistent and regular and part of your life. And some people need that sort of almost external structure in order to make sure that they're practicing regularly. So if that's you, definitely Zoom classes. If you find that you're lacking in community and you like the idea of seeing kind of the same people from week to week, or sometimes in the last couple of years, almost for 2 years, and saying hello and having that kind of personal connection, definitely Zoom classes. So those are two reasons why you would want to choose Zoom classes over other offerings. And then the third one is, if you find that you're always kind of a little lost. So when you're in any kind of a physical class, whether it's dance or yoga or whatever, if you find you're always the one who's like, wait, what? Or you don't know how to comfortably take care of your own body and kind of listen to your own body or get creative with props, then probably Zoom classes are a better fit for you, at least in the beginning. Because I'll be able to see you and I'll be able to say, oh, so-and-so, what if you tried a blanket here? Or, oh, so-and-so, that's not what I meant this. So if that's you, if you feel like you're kind of two left feet person and you're always a little bit like behind when you're doing any kind of physical activity, then probably Zoom classes are better, because I demonstrate, I do the practice with you, I'm able to look at you, I'm able to offer personal guidance. So those three things, if you said yes, yes, yes to those three things, then Zoom classes are your jam. If, however, you don't need some sort of kind of like nudge, from me to practice regularly, if you are one of those people who can be like, okay, I'm going to open up my calendar, I'm going to put in some time to do yoga, I'm going to make it part of my routine, and I know I can hold myself accountable to that and I can be reliable, then this next offer might be for you. And that is the on-demand video library. So if you're comfortable making it a priority on your own, if you don't feel that kind of need for some external accountability, then the on-demand video library will be great for you, because you'll be able to open up your calendar, choose the amount of time you want to practice, you'll be able to log in, pick a video that suits your needs, play, pay and play, go. So that would be great for you. And if you're fairly comfortable with your body and yoga, and you're okay with like modifying things on your own or grabbing a prop or just listening to your body in a way that you don't feel like you really need a lot of guidance from the teacher per se, then again, the on-demand video library will be great for you. So if you don't think that you can practice comfortably from a video without guidance, Zoom classes. If you think that you're fine actually just practicing from the videos, and some of you are, because you've been getting my Zoom videos where sometimes I'm just sitting there talking, I'm not even doing the thing. So if that's been you, then you're probably totally okay with the pre-recorded content. And sometimes people need to come to a Zoom session or two to kind of get used to the way I teach and get into yoga and understand, and then later they're more comfortable kind of practicing on their own. That happens too. So here's the 3 ways now that you can work with me. Number 1, If you're still watching this and you only want in-person classes, you must find me very entertaining. No, if that's you, don't need to pay attention to the other two options. I'll leave a link below for in-person yoga. For those of you who are open to doing yoga online through a video or through a Zoom class, then there's two options. There's Zoom classes. The benefits of Zoom classes are community, customization, and consistency, right? So you're going to be more consistent. Some people are going to be more consistent if it's always at the same day and the same time, and they just know Monday nights at this time is yoga time. Okay, so if you would benefit from that kind of consistency, the community, and you really feel like you need that customization, then definitely Zoom classes are your jam. If, however, you're a little bit more independent in your practice and you are willing to and comfortable with just opening up your calendar for the week and kind of seeing where there are some spots and putting your yoga practice in, or maybe you do it at the same day and time all the time, but it just isn't one that works. My classes don't work for your schedule. That's another opportunity to use the on-demand video library. So I'll leave more information about all three of these offerings below the video. But I just wanted to kind of break down a little bit of the details about this new offering, the on-demand video library. I should mention that this isn't a membership. So I'm not in there. There's no ability to make comments. It's not like a social network at all. It's just like sort of like Netflix. You log on, you see what there is to offer, you decide what you're in the mood for, what you have time for, and you go. That's basically how it works. I have another video that I made with a little sneaky peek behind the scenes of the on-demand video library. I'll leave a link to that below as well so that you can kind of see it from behind the scenes. And of course, if you have questions about any of these ways to work with me, whether it's in person or Zoom classes or the on-demand video library, you can just hit reply to this email, or you can email me at yoga@nickdanu.com. So I hope that this was a little more clear as to like, who are these offerings for, which one would be the best fit for you. And again, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I will talk to you soon.